we can start now. The screaming of a child's voices now distancing itself. And for those of you who are coming onto this confused why I'm saying that, my child is very clingy and wants to be with me while we record, and I just can't have that.
We don't like her.
Well, no.
Okay.
We like her.
I don't like her.
She's just not a patient child, and obviously that's understandable for a 3-year-old, for my parents out there. And non-parents, well, you should just know that. It's a 3-year-old. Okay. Well, for those new to this podcast, I'm Rebecca, the host for the Reddit Randos. And tonight I have with me Brandy.
Hello.
Okay. So awkward every time. Hello. How you been doing lately?
Fine.
Sorry. Such a loaded question with hardly an answer. I know what's been going on. You know what's been going on.
It's been great.
It's been pretty crazy this past month. And the funny thing is, it's not even completely the holidays yet. We just got through with Halloween, which was fun. Did you do anything fun for Halloween?
No, I slept.
Okay. Well, I was walking around with children all night, and while they got sugared up with candy. Yep. So that's done. That's passed. We now have candy until the next holiday stashed up. But, man, I will say I'm already tired, and it's not even the major holidays yet. And I'm sorry if I offend you for saying that Halloween's not a major holiday. Because to me, I'm sorry, I don't have enough time to decorate anything. So kudos for you that actually have time to decorate fun, creative things. I think the only thing I really that I decorate for is Christmas. And I have 4 containers worth of Christmas stuff because we just keep collecting things and kids keep making things. Do you decorate?
I always say I will, but then I don't.
Maybe that'll change this year. Maybe we'll help you.
I have decorations. I have decorated,
we'll
but
come over and help you.
But then it's like, I don't want to put it away. There was one year I had my Christmas up until July the next year.
Oh, my word. Okay, I can't say anything.
It just stayed in the living room, like, on the floor, and then eventually I threw it away because it was a trash tree.
Oh, my word. No, I will say I probably had my Christmas decorations up the longest was probably almost March. And I was like, okay, it's almost like spring is upon us and I still have my Christmas stuff up. I need to put it away. Christmas lights. Yeah, those take a while to get down too because I don't want to have to go and take them down. And I want to get those ones that people install for the year round, and they could do like different colors for the different.
I'd be fine with those. And keep them all year round.
That would be worth it for me. I know some people really like putting Christmas lights up, but Justin and I I don't mind them, but it's just me because Justin doesn't want to do it. So then, honestly, I'm like, okay, what can be the easiest? Like, what can I still have fun with, but make it easy for ourselves? We just get busy with lives. This is the busiest year we've had yet with school with our kids because now our other ones are a little bit older. So now they're all in activities and we've had something every single night of the week with sports and activities and then church and then it's a lot. So I'm exhausted and I can't wait for the holidays, for all the family events we have. We get to see family and have those awkward moments and, oh, how you been? Oh, yeah, it's been like since last year since we've seen you. Family drama.
Love it.
Yeah. We might have some this Christmas, won't we?
Probably have some this Thanksgiving.
This Thanksgiving. Yeah. Always good times. Which is something that you all should be looking forward to because with family drama comes stories on Reddit, and I'll be able to read a lot of those. So we're gonna have some probably holiday themed stories about all the juicy family drama that happens when people all get together in one room after a time and have to get along or not. So everything gets in the way. You know, you might not like your family, but you still love them in a way. Yeah, it's cordial. So, okay, let's get into tonight's stories. Tonight for my theme is, this is the season when weddings happen a lot. A lot of times weddings happen around like summer into fall. It's that fun, like beautiful weather time. You know, people like the colors and everything, the color schemes. So I kind of figured this would all be about wedding drama.
Love it.
Yep. You gotta love wedding drama sometimes. There are some bridezillas out there. There's some crazy mother-in-laws or just any in-laws, sister-in-laws.
Yeah.
Your own like family can be crazy for your own wedding, and you can either make it all about yourself or they can make it all about themselves. It's just, there's always drama when it comes to weddings. I feel like anymore these days, weddings are more of a pedestal for Instagram worthy. And yeah, that was definitely not my thought process when I was trying to get married. I think I let my mom literally almost plan everything because I was a little busy. We were trying to just get that wedding done and over with. So it was a beautiful wedding. But honestly, when I think back of all this drama, I read all this drama, and then I think back at my own wedding, and I'm like, nah, I didn't have any really wedding drama. I was just trying to get married and move on with my life. So, honestly, the wedding could have been shorter, but because we're just so used to traditional weddings, we kind of just I think my family a lot wanted that more, and I did too. Because that's like how you always dreamed of having weddings. But now weddings can be so many different things. If I could have gone back, and this is so funny when I think about it now, I think I wish I could go back and do a destination wedding. Just have like literally the closest family of both sides. And we all go on a vacation somewhere and have fun.
You can do that for like a 10-year or 20-year.
I was going to say my 10 years. I already passed my 10-year. Justin and I did nothing. This is just not the year to do it. So for our 11-year, we're going to go on a little trip for him and I. But yeah, maybe 20-year. We'll do something for everyone and we'll go
do your vows or something.
Yeah. No, I honestly would love to do something for like renewing our vows or, you know, just something kind of nice and just for us to kind of bring it together again. But yeah, it's so much fun, so much awesome things you could do for weddings, but then I just feel like this is where we get to hear all the drama about what happens to weddings that you think go well, but there's like some kind of, you know, messiness happening.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into that. But if any of you guys listening, if you guys have your own messy stories or know of a wedding messy story or just something that happened that was just crazy, you should send them to us because I'd love to read them and we can read them out there. Excuse me. I'll have to edit that out. It wasn't going anywhere. Excuse me. Pardon me. We'll read those stories with a lot more manner than what I just showed there. Okay, well, let's just get into it. Just rambling on. Okay. We'll start off with this one. This is from 5 months ago. It's from Best of Redditor Updates. And it is, originally it was on r/wedding, posted on there. It's called, Did I Really Break Wedding Etiquette? And so, let's see. Oh, is it? Oh, no. Okay. I was posting on the wrong thing. Okay. So this is a throwaway account to try and stay as anonymous as possible, though the incident is probably too specific. That's what people always say.
All right.
About a year ago, my 41 female sister, 33 female, sent out her save the dates. She was getting married less than a week before my son's 18th birthday. Since my family is all over the country, my son has never had a big birthday celebration. My sister was planning a post-wedding brunch the day after the ceremony / reception, and I asked if she would be okay if we could do something for my son in the afternoon since my family will already be gathered for her wedding. She loved the idea, and I ran it by my son and reminded him he could do something with his friends on his actual birthday. Both were happy with the idea. I even chose a venue away from the hotel we'd all be staying at so my sister wouldn't feel like we were encroaching on her wedding. All good so far, no problems. 6 months ago, the invitations came out and I RSVP'd for me and my son. Ex-husband is not in the picture. Meal options were a beef dish or a fish dish. I RSVP'd for 2 beef dinners. Now on to the problem, and where I'm being told I'm in the wrong. At the reception yesterday, my almost 18-year-old son was given a child's meal, chicken nuggets and steak fries. I told the server there was a mistake, and we RSVP'd for the beef dish. The server took the plate and brought out a beef dish 2 minutes later. For clarification, this wasn't a child-free wedding, and there were about 5 kids there, aged 4 to 9 or so. At the brunch today, my sister pretty much ignored me and was really cold when she did talk to me. As it was ending, I asked if she was still coming to my son's celebration since she seemed like she was mad at me. She pulled out a piece of paper and said, "Maybe I'll come once you pay this." The paper was an invoice she made up for $77.50 for an extra dinner. I was confused and asked, "What is it about?" And apparently my nearly 18-year-old son was supposed to get a child's meal, and the caterer was charging my sister an additional $77.50, and that it was my fault that they had to provide an additional meal. I told her that 1, I had RSVP'd and chosen the adult meal for him months ago, and 2, he's a 17-year-old. How would anyone think a meal of 4 chicken nuggets and a handful of fries would be enough for him? It became this big blow up, and my sister turned it into people having to take sides. And surprise, my son's birthday party ended up being a disaster that almost no one attended because your sister is the bride and she makes the rules on her day. Even our mom skipped it because my sister was inconsolable. Ugh. Everyone is telling me he should have just sucked it up and I could have taken him to McDonald's afterwards. I still think I'm being perfectly reasonable. Am I really this wrong about wedding etiquette?
No, your sister's dumb.
I agree. She RSVP'd for 2 beefs. They were not given the choice of child's. So then by the choice that they picked, he should have gotten the beef.
Yeah. And
she didn't know ahead of time that there was going to be children's meals. So she did nothing wrong if she was, he came out. It could have been a mistake, they thought. Oh, no, he didn't order the chicken nuggets. We ordered the beef dish. And they didn't say anything else. So how is she supposed to know that was what the sister was planning to give him, which I don't understand. That was poor choice on the sister's part.
Or she wanted the drama for a reason not to go or to, who knows.
Well, they are a little bit different in ages. They're about 8-year difference. Excuse me. There's an 8-year difference, so I'm wondering, I don't know how close they are, because 8 years difference is kind of a lot. Not a lot, but I mean, I'm guessing they didn't spend as close in time together. So, I don't know. That's just crazy that the sister's mad at that. I mean, yeah, would having an extra $77 added on to that suck? Yeah, but it's a wedding.
But then I would have been like, if I was the mom, I would have been like, check your RSVP tickets. Make sure it's not my fault that I didn't accidentally do that.
Well, yeah,
and then take it to the caterer and be like, no, you guys had the error. I'm not paying for this. So there are things that could have been
depending on
prevented.
Depending if the bride herself the sister had to count all the meals and send in that information. So whether she miscounted or the catering company miscounted, if she gave in those RSVPs to them, it's not on OP's fault.
Yeah.
OP didn't do anything wrong because she did all she did that she was supposed to, was put down what meals they were going to get. And that was not on them that they were given the wrong meal. And they weren't, they didn't know that she was going to get paid. They just said, hey, we didn't order this. And they were like, oh, here, you can have this meal. So I don't think it's anything bad. I think everyone's making a big deal on this. And the sister, I'm sorry this happened on your wedding day. And of course, no one wants to get a bill from the catering.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't even on her wedding day. It was the day after. The lunch was the day after the wedding.
And that was my fault because I guess, I'm trying to think if they did. No, the day after she gave the bill to OP. So I think on the wedding night before the catering company left.
No, in the beginning, her wedding was this day, her lunch was the next day, and that's when she did the son's birthday.
Oh, my sister was planning a post-wedding brunch the day after the ceremony. No, I think that's when they were all going to get together for the son's birthday party.
The brunch is post.
Oh, I thought this was for the wedding. The RSVP was for the wedding.
The wedding
reception.
Why would they do
There was a post-wedding brunch the day after. So sometimes after,
right, isn't it for the brunch, though?
if they are traveling for a wedding, like I went to a wedding one time and we had to travel and stay in a hotel, and they had in the hotel a brunch for all of us to gather before we all left. And sometimes they would the bride would be, if it was like with the closest people of the party, they would open the gifts with them. So at that moment, I'm guessing that's when OP wanted to do the birthday party with the son, or because everyone would be together in the hotel. This was the wedding was the night before.
Oh, I thought this was for the brunch.
No, so the dinner, the RSVP was for the wedding reception, for the dinner at the wedding reception.
Oh, okay.
And then the next day at brunch, that's when OP was like, hey, are we still doing this in the afternoon for my son? And that's when the sister was all mad because she's like, well, we were given a bill for another dish that we didn't ask for, that apparently you said we needed to have. So yeah, I think honestly,
okay,
she shouldn't have been mad and just said, hey, we were told this. Was there a mess up? Because we need to talk to the catering. I don't know. I think she was too quick to be mad at her sister.
And then I might go to your son's birthday if you pay this.
Yeah, see, that's just petty.
Don't make my child the obligation.
Well, don't put your pettiness, your spitefulness on your nephew, because it's not him. It's it's no one's fault. It's not even OP's fault. But if anything, keep the adult conversation amongst adults and don't involve the kids. And yes, we were talking how the 17-year-old is not a kid, but but he is still don't get him involved. He wasn't a part of it. He's innocent in all of this. So anyways, some relevant comments. Someone said, no, you didn't break etiquette. Your sister is insane. You RSVP'd for beef. You should have gotten beef. No one over the age of 11 eats kids' meals. And OP had said, thank you. I feel like once a child is a teenager, they graduate to the adult table/meal. Someone underneath that had said, I'm sorry, I agree with you. Here is what's odd to me. Someone had to have given the caterer a count of how many adult meals and how many children's meals. Nobody in their right mind would tell a caterer a child's meal for a 17-year-old. My son was a man-sized at almost 18, and I'm sure yours is as well. Now, on your behalf, I would have done the exact same thing. I would have immediately assumed the kitchen had simply made a mistake. Something is rotten in the Denmark here because someone had to have counted your son as a child, which is bizarre. I won't even go into the caterer charging that much for a plate. Yeah, that was crazy. $77 for a plate.
Well, it must have been steak. If it's beef, it's probably a steak.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know having the dinners is expensive.
And it was probably like a fancy restaurant, so, I mean...
Yeah.
Probably why.
That's just ridiculous. Secondly, it was your sister's choice to get all worked up and mad at her own wedding. This is something that could have been easily addressed at a later time. I can't see where you did anything wrong, but the takeaway from this is somebody turned in one adult and one child onto the caterer. No offense, your sister sounds like a piece of work. OP had said, but the takeaway from this is somebody turned in one adult and one, oh, she's quoting the person. She's like, exactly, the RSVP didn't go directly to the caterer. So at some point, my sister decided to give my son a kid's meal. And if this was such an issue, why didn't she immediately address it with me? Exactly. If she was going to change it for OP, she should have addressed it to her or warned her ahead of time saying, hey, I turned it to this because he is younger and it is cheaper if you're okay with that. I mean, like, honestly, if it was going to be cheaper for one less meal because you were going to be that over budget, then I think OP would have understood at this time and just told the son, hey, we'll get something after.
Or gave her his meal.
Right.
Gave him her meal, and she just...
They could have shared the meal or something. If it was that much...
If it was that big of a deal, I'd probably be like, all right, then me and him don't need to eat.
Well, yeah. Honestly, and that's your family, too. Your family should be given the best choice in the beginning. I don't know. Someone said, I would love to know what bride's actually attendance was. Did everyone actually show up and they were short a beef plate? I find that very hard to believe. Please forward these responses to your family. They are absolutely crazy to take her side. OP said the reception was about 180 people, which is quite a bit for a wedding with having a plate for everyone. I do know at least 4 didn't show up since my mom complained about it to me. Sister's coworkers, family got COVID, I guess. I wonder if they'll get invoices too. Ugh.
We paid for this plate and you didn't show up, so you have to pay for it. And you said you were
coming, so no, you should always be, I guess...
Take home the leftovers.
Yeah, and you just paid for them. But no, you should always you should always know that everyone that says they're going to come, can it be annoying if someone doesn't come that says they're going to come? But things happen.
But you also send those out months in advance. No one can plan that far out.
Well, at least a month before the wedding. So even that's a whole month before you go over. Someone could get sick. Someone could get in an accident or have an injury. Someone could have a baby if they're pregnant. Like, seriously, anything could happen. So an update happened 2 days later after this was posted. I posted a few days ago, and I'm not sure if this sub allows for or welcomes updates, but here it is. It's not good. So good. My post was about my sister ordering a children's meal for my 17-year-old son at her reception and throwing a fit the next day and invoicing me to pay for his extra adult meal that he wasn't supposed to get. Thank you all for confirming it was correct that my son should have been given the adult meal we RSVP'd with. I found out it was all planned. Of course it was. After my sister agreed for my son to have his milestone 18th birthday celebrated the day after the wedding, since all the family would have already been there for the wedding, she decided she didn't want to share her weekend anymore. Yes, she got Friday for the rehearsal and rehearsal dinner, Saturday for ceremony and reception, and apparently needed all of Sunday too. Would the reasonable thing be to tell me she was no longer comfortable with my son's party? Yes, it would have been.
Sure.
And I would have canceled or postponed it. Would the reasonable thing be to manufacture some petty beef and turn everyone against me and my son, resulting in almost no one showing up? Apparently, yes, to my sister and mother. Because that makeshift invoice, I had another look at it after I posted. Printed on an inkjet printer that slightly bleeds red even on black and white, just like my mother's old faulty printer, which means she printed it before the wedding. It was actually my son that noticed and mentioned it looked like it came from my mom's crappy printer. I mean, did my sister really spend her wedding night creating an invoice? Of course it was already prepared. This was all planned. I called my mom and confronted her yesterday, and she just said, it was your sister's wedding. All the attention should have been on her anyway. Her wedding was on Saturday. She doesn't own Sunday. So they humiliated my son so she can play princess for an extra day. Honestly, things have been bad in the past, but for the past 5 years, I thought I was really making progress with my mom. But I'm questioning her role in my life now more than ever. Even worse, my son no longer wants anything to do with both of them. And maybe that's for the best. So relevant comments after that. This is absolutely wild. I guess I can see wanting all the attention on the couple of days of, but the fact that she saw celebrating her nephew the day after her wedding with all of her family around as a burden, taking attention away from her, is her own pretty princess special weekend instead of being overjoyed to share a fun, happy milestone with him is so gross. OP had said, that's the thing that bothers me. At any point, she could have said, I thought about it some more, and I really want the attention of the weekend to be on me, which whoever was going to say that without looking like a brat.
Yeah, a drama queen.
Yeah, exactly. I would have been annoyed, but canceled the birthday party. But to not say anything and cause this blow up is really out of this world. Someone had said, can I see being slightly annoyed at a nephew's birthday party the day after the wedding? Maybe. But I'm absolutely dying that she had him served a kid's portion like he isn't eating more than most adults at almost 18. OP had said, I totally get it. When I first approached her about it, it was only because it's a milestone birthday and my extended family is spread throughout the country. So it meant everyone who came to the wedding could also celebrate my son's birthday. I even booked an entirely different venue so she wouldn't feel encroached on. If she, or even my son, wasn't okay with it, I wouldn't have pressed the issue at all. I legitimately thought she was happy with extending the festivities. I mean, you get one day.
You only need one day. What are you still doing with family the whole weekend of your wedding?
I was going to say, you get one day, maybe two for your bachelorette. But seriously, one day, major day to celebrate, and that's it. Like, I don't get these people that are so, like, it's like they don't want to share the same day or even the same weekend. There are even crazy people out there that don't even want to share the same year as someone else that they're close to have a wedding. And that's ridiculous. Like, they make it all about themselves.
That day is specifically about you and your partner. Nobody else.
I get it. You want your day to be perfect and you want it to be as memorable as possible, but you are just setting yourself up for a bad marriage and wedding and memories if you're that worried and nitpicking every little thing to be centered on you.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to make yourself miserable that way. So I don't feel bad for sister at all, but that's ridiculous that she pre-planned that. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. And let's go to, am I the a-hole? This is from 1 month ago. And it is called, Am I the a-hole for uninviting my sister-in-law from my wedding after she leaked my pregnancy? So, I, 26 female, am 10 weeks pregnant. My partner, 28 male, and I told our immediate families early, but made it very clear we weren't telling anyone else until after the first trimester, which is...
Makes sense.
It makes sense. That's a normal thing for most people to do. Last night, my fiance's sister, 29 female, posted a story on Instagram. It was a get ready with me for a family dinner we had last weekend. She then casually, indirectly talks about becoming an auntie. She tagged me and my fiance. I saw it when I got a notification that I was tagged. I had over 50 messages from distant friends and coworkers before I could even process it. We hadn't even told our friends yet. I was totally mad, called her screaming, she tried to say it was an accident and that she forgot and she was just teasing. I guess she said she was just teasing. I told her she was uninvited from our wedding. She cried. My future in-laws are furious, saying I'm overreacting and ruining the family over a silly social media post. They say I should just be happy people are excited. She says my fiance is on my side. Well, good.
Well, he should be.
No, I'm glad he's on the side. He should be standing up against his parents, though.
I wouldn't say uninviting her to the wedding. I mean, you're pregnant. It's not going to change your wedding at all. You can be mad at her and take that out on her, but
I think it'll blow over.
I mean, I get in the first response that would probably be my response too. Like, you know what? Just you're out of the wedding. But in the end, I feel like that's, I don't know.
Yeah, I think uninviting
being rational. I mean, you're pregnant. People know now, so it's not going to change the fact whether she's there or not. You're still pregnant. They found
out sooner. Yes. Is it? I will say in
the heat of the moment,
it's a bit dramatic, but it's your first pregnancy. It's probably not how you wanted it to be announced, and I will say, having it announced that early, anything could happen where now everyone knows, and then all of a sudden you have a terrible if you have a miscarriage or something happens where you lose the baby, and that's just so devastating for them people to think you're still pregnant, or you have to announce that you lost the baby. I mean, either way, it's just something you weren't planning, and it was unexpected, and you were probably just upset about it. Understandably, too. But uninviting her for the wedding, this is your future family that you're marrying into. So I'm not saying to suck it up and be on good terms, but I think you have all the right to to tell them that you're upset with them, and just say, I need a little bit of distance right now. Please, I don't know if I can tell you things now if I can't trust you. But I think honestly, it'll blow over eventually. And as you get older, it'll all be in the past. And I don't know if they're like this always, but people make mistakes. They really do. And people grow up. It takes them longer sometimes.
And some don't.
And some don't. But this is your future family you're marrying into. And I don't think you want to be on bad terms right in the beginning. I think you want to try and...
Well, this is her sister, though, isn't it?
No, this is her husband's sister.
Her husband's sister.
Yeah, this is sister-in-law.
Okay.
And the in-laws are furious because she uninvited the sister-in-law. Fiance's on her side, so I'm glad for that. And the fiance should definitely be like, hey, you shouldn't have, sister-in-law should have been more smart about this. But, yeah, I think uninviting her is too much. I think you just need to be a little bit less maybe distant from her for a while. Give some space. Just give some space. Take some time away from her, and hopefully I don't like that she teased and said she was sorry, or she didn't really say she was sorry. That's the only thing I didn't like, is that she didn't actually truly feel like apologetic about it. She just was like making excuses, like it was an accident, I forgot, and that she was teasing. So that's where sometimes the distance and the space is nice. You don't always have to be super close to your in-laws. But I think you should still try and be cordial with them. People make some stupid mistakes, but they're still going to be a part of your family. So, top comment was, not the a-hole. Not only did she go against your wishes, she also took away your joy of making that announcement yourself, which what we said was understandably a lot of reasons why you were upset for this, whatever those reasons are. Underneath that said, not just that, but only 10 weeks. If something goes wrong, hopefully OP has a pleasant and trouble-free pregnancy. That will now be a huge list of telling a bunch of people. And if you forget someone, it's explaining over and over when someone texts how the pregnancy is going. It's really rude when they made it clear they weren't telling anyone after first trimester has passed, just to put it out there. So I agree. I remember when I had my miscarriage, I was so excited when I first found out I was pregnant. And I actually did tell a group of my friends. I told my work, and I didn't even tell my work yet, but I told a big group of my friends. I told my family. That first appointment I had, we found out baby didn't have a heartbeat. And so baby was no longer there. And I had to have a DNC to have my miscarriage follow through. And I just hated it, having to tell everyone. It was a terrible time. And then after that, after being pregnant again, I didn't want to tell anyone because I was so afraid I'd have to go through that whole process again. So I think once I was pregnant with my second kid after the miscarriage, my mom finally just got it out of me, and she's like, "Are you pregnant?" Because I wanted to tell her, but I was so afraid. And I'm like, I didn't want to tell you yet. And she's like, why not? I'm like, because I just wanted to make sure I was good after the appointment. Yeah. I was so afraid to tell anyone because I didn't want to have to go through that heartbreak. I had just told my in-laws, my parents, I gave them a little onesie, gave them a little card saying we were going to have a baby. And then a couple weeks later, we had to tell them it wasn't happening. So it was devastating, really. So I get it. We don't want to tell people that news until you're 100% sure. Respect those wishes. If you have friends that are pregnant, respect their wishes of not telling anyone if they don't want you to. So, okay. I don't think there's any update. That's it for that one. So we go on to the next one. So, oh, yeah, this one's funny. So this one is from 1 month ago. It's from r/wedding. And it's my friends plus one RSVP'd. And he did not.
What?
I'll just go ahead and go tell it. I'll make this shorter than it is. My husband and I had our wedding overseas in his country. All my friends that were invited made it out. One of my close friends from university doesn't have a girlfriend, so I told him he can bring his sister as his plus one. She was also very excited because she had always wanted to go to the city that we were getting married in. When RSVPs were close to being due, he told me he couldn't make it because he just bought a place and is watching his finances. Very fair. So I marked them as not attending. A couple weeks later, his sister, whom I don't know very well, messaged me on Instagram. She said she is able to add our wedding to her Europe itinerary and was so excited to make it. Stupid me opened her message right away by accident, and I just replied, okay, that's great, when really I was thinking, what the actual F? Our wedding was small and intimate too. I knew everyone there very well. So the wedding is now a week away. I'm already in Europe, and so is she. Then she asked me if she can bring her boyfriend. I said no. Seating chart was already made. She got mad and told me she doesn't feel safe coming to my wedding without her boyfriend since she's not familiar with the city and is worried about getting home. I mean, I never invited her in the first place, and being the non-confrontational person that I am, I was very happy that she canceled. She then proceeded to block me on Instagram, and one day saw me at a family friend's wedding and looked away when I walked by. Anyways, I thought it was a funny story, and she was an entitled one for sure.
Well, I mean, in the beginning, she said she told the friend to invite your sister. So, I mean, she needed to make sure that the sister knew not to come.
You have to be very clear.
Yeah, especially if she knows he has a sister. There's obviously some form of relation there with her. Whether it's
Yeah.
you know, close or not.
See, that's where when the friend said that he wasn't going to be able to come, she should have reached out and said, so that means your sister won't be coming either.
Right.
Correct?
Or
because
I'll make sure we check off you and your sister.
Right. I'll make sure that
then he would know, okay, she doesn't want her to come too.
Right, exactly. I mean, she was just being nice to be like, oh, have your sister so that way you have someone.
And he probably thought, oh, she'll still go. She can, she'll enjoy it. She's a girl.
I could see this definitely being a miscommunication.
Yeah.
And because she's a non-confrontational person, I could see her not wanting to address the issue more than she needed to.
Or not thinking all of it
through. So, honestly, I am not on your, 100%. You could have dealt with that better, OP. But
definitely agree with the boyfriend. Boyfriend didn't need to be there.
No, the boyfriend did not. I understand she didn't want to be in a place that she wasn't familiar with without her, boyfriend. But she wasn't even supposed to come by herself anyways because this was for her brother to come to. So, yeah, she shouldn't have been shocked when she was already in Europe and said, oh, can I bring my boyfriend? She should have said this, however long ago she RSVP'd saying that.
But the trip, I thought it said the trip was already planned and her boyfriend was there.
So the wedding is now a week away and I'm already in Europe and so is she. Then she asked me if she can bring her boyfriend.
Yeah, just to that wedding, but they were already there.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know. This is kind of confusing.
But as the sister, I mean, it's not like your whole trip or place is there. You're just not going to a wedding.
Yeah.
So not that big of a deal. Or if she really wanted to attend, she could have done it, had the boyfriend sit in the parking lot or, left right after the wedding if she didn't feel safe.
Yeah, someone had said underneath that, I have a similar story. I wanted to invite a few of my coworkers I was really close with, but we were a team of like 8 girls, so I felt bad only inviting the 5 I was close with and decided to invite everyone. I gave the girls I wasn't super close with a +1 so they didn't feel alone. One of those girls called me the morning of my wedding and asked me if she could have a +2. Not if she could swap the person she was bringing, not to politely back out because her plans changed. No, she called me and asked me if she could bring a second person. I did the same thing and was like, no, I'm literally getting my makeup done right now. I gave everyone numbers 3 days ago. No, you cannot bring a second person. The audacity of some people.
Yeah.
No, it is
Why
true.
would you call the bride on the day of?
The day of, like, here's the thing. When I know someone's getting married, could be I'm not even there or we're getting ready to go. I will literally send them a message, but it's not something they need to see right then. It's literally saying, hey, I'm so, like, happy for you on your day. Have a wonderful, fun day. Make this the best day to remember. And literally, it's for them to, like, see it later. So that's literally what it is.
Especially if you're not part of the bridal party where you need the bride's attention or, you know.
No, exactly. Make your best judgment, and if you're not 100% sure, don't go along with it. Don't just assume the bride's going to be okay with it.
A +1 is 1 specifically for a reason.
Right. Okay, so this next one is from also Best of Reddit Updates. It was originally placed on Am I the A-Hole? It is from, well, let's see. Post was from, 2 years ago, from June 30th, 2023. Okay, so I, 29 female. Oh, sorry, I probably should say what the title is. Am I the a-hole for not letting my sister walk down the aisle at my wedding?
Yeah, probably not.
So what, like a bridesmaid or like a bride? So I, 29 female, am getting married to the love of my life, 30 male, in a few months. We were high school lovers and a childhood friends. He's truly my best friend and everything I want in life. However, we both decided to wait until we were well off to be married so we could have our once-in-a-lifetime magical moment. My sister, Stacy, 21 female, got married at 19 to someone who I like, but I'm not super close with. They were together for 5 months before he proposed. Their wedding was rushed, and half our family couldn't even make it because of how soon it was planned and set up. It was small and just in a courtroom, no dress, party, etc., just a legal wedding. However, my wedding is around $19,000, and we haven't even finished everything. It took us ages to set up everything and save. Stacy recently came up to me while coming over. We're close and have dinner once a week at my place, and asked if she could walk down my aisle and meet her husband so she could feel like a bride. I laughed and asked if she was serious, and she was. She claims she never got her magic moment and just wants to feel special once, but it's my wedding and my special day. She had hers. Stacy claims it will only be between us and it won't take away from me. But then I asked what she might wear, and she showed me pictures of her on her phone of wedding dresses. Hard no for me. She then asked again yesterday in front of my fiance, and I think it was an attempt to pressure me. He laughed and said no, thinking it was a joke, like I did the first time. My mother and Stacy's husband say I'm being an a-hole because Stacy still isn't rich, so she can't afford another wedding even if she wanted one. But neither are me and my future husband. We just planned for years. I just wanted one day for myself, but maybe I'm blowing it up because she never got the bridal experience.
That's her problem.
So the verdict that everyone came up with was not the a-hole. But I agree. That is, no.
If she wants to just feel like the atmosphere of it, once everyone clears, you know, when the bride and groom say bye to everybody, and she wants to be the last one there or something, then I'd be like, it's all yours. But you're not going to have it with everybody here in a bride dress in front of everybody. You can do that behind closed doors if that's something you absolutely want to experience. But
exactly,
the wedding still goes on as is. That's how it is.
Honey, you had your chance. Be with your husband for another, like, I don't know how long it's been, but maybe at your 5-year or
Same.
10-year, like we were saying, renew your vows, really save up that time. I know you're not rich, but you can still save a little bit here and there for so many years and have a nice little renew your vow
You don't need a
ceremony.
$19,000 wedding to feel the bridal experience.
No, if anything, go get yourself a nice dress. And, you know, there's like some great cheap shops these days that have nice weddings. There's consignment shops.
There's rec centers, or ask a friend who has a nice backyard.
You can DIY all your like party things forever, come up with great ideas. That's what we did. We came up with, like, we went to like Goodwills and found some like certain like things to put on the like centerpieces to put on tables. Like, I still have a bunch of those in my house as my own decoration because I don't know what to do with them. But I still have my bridal bouquet because it's fake flowers.
Yep, I have it too.
And see, that's what I had. I didn't have the real authenticated stuff. I had fake stuff. I had fake flowers. I dyed my wedding shoes and purple because I had purple stuff for purple and other colors. So it was just like, we kind of did what we could with things on our own to save money. And we had a quick wedding too. We spent, like, she did 5 months. I'm pretty sure we had about like 6 months. 6 months that we literally planned for the wedding. And I don't know how much we spent because I didn't think about numbers. But I can't think back how much we spent. But there's a lot of things you can go here and there and look for sales and really save up and still make it look really nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, let this day be for your sister. So, some relevant comments are... let's go. Oh, there we go. Relevant comments are not the a-hole at all. For anyone missing out on OP's comments, here is a summary. Stacy was born after the mother had a miscarriage, so mother has always favored her. Ooh, okay. Context. OP is in therapy now. OP's father died recently of cancer. OP's grandmother died and left OP and Stacy with money. OP put it towards savings and her apartment, while Stacy spent the money on partying, nice dorms, and clothing, as well as paying for college. Oh. Stacy dropped out of college to become a housewife. No, she doesn't have any kids. When OP bought a home, Stacy asked to have the apartment OP owned. Stacy asked OP and their mother for money for hundreds of dollars a month in groceries and other expenses. The wedding dress that Stacy's planning on wearing down the aisle cost $500 to $2,000, but Stacy can't afford a wedding first, and OP even had the pay for her hotel, even though she only lives 1 to 2 hours away. Stacy has refused to help OP with anything wedding related, going to pick out flowers, taste, food. Stacy's husband has been messaging OP's husband almost daily about this. It's always been OP's dream to have this big wedding. So this is then the commenter, in my opinion, OP seems very considerate and really does care for her sister. On the other hand, I believe Stacy is walking all over OP. Stacy cannot afford a gift, has to have a hotel for the wedding within driving distance from her house, but OP needs to pay for it. Asked OP and her mother to give her hundreds of dollars monthly, but at the last time can afford a $500 to $2,000 dress. I understand that it can be difficult to see your sister struggle, but the support OP has been providing her isn't helping her. I believe Stacy needs tough love. Provide her the same support as now, but please cut off any financial support, whether that is monetary or itemized. Stacy has free college that she chose to drop out of. Stacy chose to have a small wedding. Stacy chose to be a housewife. These chores are not OP's fault or responsibility to assist with. OP, your wedding is your dream. You have spent years saving up and probably years planning. You are not selfish to want it to be about you. You deserve a day where you are recognized and it's all about you. Also, please have a backup plan if your sister comes in a wedding dress. Let her know if you come in a wedding dress or pull any shenanigans, I will have one of my fiance's friends kick you out. So that was a long update, but that was a lot of info that we didn't get from before that. So the update from 2000, I think it was a month later, or like a few weeks later. Hello everyone, I just wanted to post an update on the situation with my sister Stacy. I'm not sure how to add links to my old post, but I will try to find out. The day after I made the post, me and my fiance Stacy and her husband met up for brunch. I told her she needed to hear me out fully before she spoke, and thankfully she did. In short, I told her as much as I love her, I've waited years for this day, and it was mine. She had hers, and if she truly wanted, she could have used the money I gifted her to get her own wedding. Her husband to cut me off and say that they needed the money for rent, but she didn't let him talk. I showed her the Reddit post, and she started crying and asked her husband and my fiance to step out for a few minutes. They both did, and she told me her husband and our mom had been the ones pressuring her. Since she had admittedly been jealous, she told them both she wished she could have had a larger scale wedding. She said she had been over the whole thing until her husband started saying it wasn't fair because he was jealous and he couldn't provide for her. He eventually complained enough that she asked to walk down the aisle for him. Stacy said she was willing to fully back out of the wedding and would understand given the heartache she's given me, but I told her that her husband would be the one without an invite, which she gratefully agreed to. We talked more in depth on why she was jealous, and she said that she regretted being married so early just so our father could be at her wedding. After a few more minutes and both of us crying and forgiving one another, I told her she could always tell me anything, even if it was between her and her husband. When my fiance and her husband came back, I told Stacy's husband that he was uninvited, right then and there. And he seemed to understand why immediately, though he did groan about it and call me multiple times, but I blocked him again. Over the past few days, our mother has called to apologize, and me and Stacy have been talking much more openly and honestly to one another. I decided to let her wear a dark silver or pale gold dress to match my theme and walk with me down the aisle, as my father sadly can't. She told me I didn't need to, but I insisted. We ended up finding a dress we both love, and I got it as a gift for her. Thank you for all the support and kind words.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah, so a couple of relevant comments from after that. Someone said, very nice update. I was just curious though, how are you dealing with your mother? And OP responded, she apologized, but since my father isn't with us anymore, I'm letting her attend because I don't think I would be able to handle having both my parents missing. Someone had said, you're such an amazingly gracious woman. When I initially read your post, it stuck with me all day because I was so bothered by the position you were put in during such a special time in your life. I'm so happy to read such a sweet update and truly hope your relationship with your sister continues to grow stronger after this. I am curious, did her husband apologize or offer any explanation for his actions? Also, what did your mom have to say about her part for the whole thing? Does she truly understand how tacky it was to even suggest such a thing? And OP replied, he didn't apologize, though to be fair, I didn't let him, because I blocked him right after he called me the first 3 times after brunch. Our mother felt guilty. She says she knows it's wrong and she's going to try and grow from this, and that's really all I can ask. Mm-hmm. And there we go. So I think that was a nice ending to that one.
Yeah.
I'm glad OP is very understanding and very patient with her sister. So I'm guessing this isn't the first time sister's kind of gone her way or chosen the wrong path on how to lead things. OP seems pretty smart financially and just kind of like smart in how she plans her life.
Yeah.
And OP's a little bit, or sister's a little bit younger, so she's definitely not there yet. And then, of course, because OP's taking longer to get where she wants to be, it's looking magnificent and wonderful. And yeah, because she took the time and worked, and she worked hard to get to where she's at and wait longer to get married. Yeah. She's got nicer things, and of course, sister is jealous.
And she wasted money.
Yeah. You know, you don't get just things because you want it and you ask for it. You have to work hard for it. So I think it's just a lesson learned from everyone. So I think we're going to do one more story. Ooh, fun. We'll go with this one. Okay. So this one is from r/the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. I love Charlotte Dobre. This is from 4 months ago. And the title is, Am I the A-hole for not wanting my brother and sister-in-law to announce her pregnancy at my wedding? I mean, all these are definitely like, no.
Duh.
No. Duh. Yeah. Okay, so it starts off, okay, so I am borrowing a friend's account as this is my first time on Reddit. So I, 21 female, am getting married in a week or so to my significant other, 25 male. We got engaged almost 2 years ago, and through that, we've had some issues with my brother and sister-in-law. Let's call my brother Adam and my sister-in-law Maddie. So when we first got engaged, Maddie had announced her miscarriage at our engagement dinner. Oh my word. I am a people pleaser, so I never mentioned it after it happened. However, she did steal all the attention. Like, obviously, yes, that's devastating news, but there's a time and a place for everything when it's for someone else's event.
Yeah.
Okay. I had invited her to go wedding dress shopping with me, and she had announced her other miscarriage. It put a damper on the whole day, and they had invited her out to drink with me, which I was okay with. Fast forward to 2-ish months ago at the end of March, they had told me they were expecting. I was obviously super stoked about it because they had struggled for a while and they deserve it. However, at the end of our visit, my fiance had mentioned that the next family gathering we're going to have is our wedding in June. At first, I was confused where he was going with this, but then it dawned on me that they were going to use our wedding for their announcement. We didn't bring it up in hopes they would never think to do that. No, that was a bad idea.
They've already done it at
They've already done it. You already know what they're going to do if you're thinking of it. Okay, so we didn't bring it up in hopes that they would never think to do that, but the next day, Maddie called and asked if she could announce her pregnancy at our wedding. I was so livid. I did lash out. I am not proud of it. I told her that she always finds a way to make everything about her, and it gets old. My fiance calmed me down and didn't communicate for a whole week. We didn't communicate with them for a whole week. My parents were visiting me one day, and I had brought up the situation, and they understood why I was pissed off, but said I should suck it up.
No.
I got mad and said if they were going to do that, they didn't get to come to my wedding, and my parents told me I was being selfish. I have never loved having attention on me, but I have always dreamed of having a wedding day being about me and my fiance and not having any other distractions. I have always taken in Adam and Maddie's bullcrap, and I don't have the mental strength to do it anymore. I don't want to be rude by uninviting them, but they won't back down. They've told pretty much everyone in our social circle, and most of are on our side, but some are saying I'm being an a-hole and that my wedding day isn't just about me. Throughout the whole wedding process, I've been accommodating and made sure I don't ask for too much from others, and I understand other people's lives don't stop because it's my wedding, but I do just want my one day to be about me and the man I love. So Reddit, am I being an a-hole? Should I just let them announce their pregnancy to keep the peace?
No.
No, I think you really need to sit down with them. I know you lashed out at them, but you need to sit down hey, can we go out and talk about this? Or go out to dinner or to coffee and really sit down, and you need to really lay out your concerns saying, could you make an announcement the next day? Or even make an announcement now. You could do it any other day. Why does it have to be in person?
Yeah, they can get a family get-together, go out for dinner, and give it to them then.
Say, hey, we want to have a special brunch or lunch the next day with our family who are in town still. Can we all plan that? And then, yes, you should really try and work with them. If you can't beat them, you should join them, but manipulate it in a way that it's still their idea, but for another day.
Yeah.
Why would you want to announce it on a day of a wedding? Because you're not going to get all the attention of the announcement that you want all the way.
But apparently they think they will.
But apparently, this is such a hot topic all the time.
And they've already had 2 miscarriages. So there is sympathy all around for them.
Yeah, that's true.
If they know how to use their own manipulation,
that's true.
Then more power to them. But
You know, it's like they say, if you can't beat them, join them. So OP needs to find a way to out manipulate them. I don't know.
My sister did that. It'd be an automatic no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't care.
No, it'd be a no all around. How much I love you or not, I don't care. You don't get to say something like that at my wedding. Like,
or do it after I've left my wedding. Then
exactly.
You want to take the stage, go for it.
Like, honestly, that's the thing. I don't think it's a big deal if you announced it after I was gone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even care if you announced it the day before the wedding. Like, if you're pregnant, awesome. More joy to go around before the wedding.
You can do it at the reception when everything's died down. And
I will say, do not put it in your best man or maid of honor speech.
Yeah, no.
Like, no, I don't make the speech. That's another thing. Don't make the speech about you. Make the speech about the bride and the groom. So, like, I just think it's kind of dumb when people start saying their own lives or someone proposes for their speech, or I don't know. It's just so weird when they use someone else's special day for a memorable day for them. And I think it's like, no, there's a time and place. Yeah. And this is not the time and place.
Especially when it's obvious that they don't want it. If you've got a friend that's like, yeah, you can use my wedding, then
right,
perfect.
Exactly.
But you don't have that.
Especially if you've asked permission, like if you're actually good enough to ask permission before that, then you should respect their wishes on what they answer you with. So that's just kind of dumb. Someone had put under there, Petty Me says to announce it for them on Facebook. I mean, if you're being petty. Someone says, I actually love this level of petty. So, that would really steal their thunder. They might be mad enough to not go to the wedding. Tell her if she announces it at the wedding, she's getting kicked out. So, I mean, you just can't.
You can't go to a wedding and think that there's not going to be
consequences. Here. Someone's like, tell the really nosy aunt. Say it was an accident and it just slipped out. Facebook post is going to make you look bad. I mean, that is true. If you don't want to, like, look like the bad person, you could just accidentally slip it to a family member.
Yeah.
So, okay, so there is an update with this. So, around the same time, update, I want to make this clear. This is not my Reddit account. Okay, so people are looking at the posts from the other people, which is kind of contradicting. There was, like, a story about a brother and her not going to the wedding, but it was like, I think the friends post. So people are like, it's not mine. Don't look at it. It's not going to bring you anything else. So throughout my whole childhood, I knew I wasn't the golden child. Anytime I wanted something, they would say, no, I asked for too much. Or stop being greedy. My brother got handed things on a silver platter whenever he wanted. I met Maddie when I was 12 and she was 15. We immediately got close and I was so excited to have a friend that was older and more mature. She would take advantage of me in minor ways because I've always been a people pleaser. I've always accepted I wasn't going to be anyone's first choice, so when I met Maddie, I let her walk all over me in fear of losing a friend. Eventually, I met my fiance, Christian, and I'm using his real name. When I was 18... We started dating when I was 19, and the rest is history, as they say. When he first met my parents, he said that they had an odd way of showing that they loved me. I just nodded in agreement because what the heck do I say? A few weeks after he met my parents, I opened up about my childhood and how I always felt unwanted and was scared of losing him. Eventually, his parents sort of became my parents, supportive of every decision and would just treat me like I was their own. He proposed. We chose not to rush into the wedding planning. At this point, my brother and best friend had been married for a year. So my brother is 28, my sister-in-law has just turned 25. They had been trying for a baby and had appointments, on and off appointments, to figure out what was wrong. They never found anything wrong with either of them. She just had a hard time conceiving. I was there for every appointment when my brother couldn't make it, and she confided in me when she was at her lowest. When she announced to the family that she was pregnant, I was ecstatic because no one deserves to have a hard time getting pregnant. Then we had our engagement party, and while we were going around and saying what we were grateful for, she stood up and said, I have an announcement. We've lost the baby. I didn't want... Right? I have an announcement.
Baby is no more.
Baby is no more. That's terrible.
Be sad with me.
Sorrow, sympathy. Yeah. I didn't want to be rude, so I told her how sorry we were, and the whole dinner became about her and my brother, which is, it's a really, I'm sorry, I am not laughing at her announcing that she lost the baby, because that is terrible. It's just, the way she announced it is just, it's kind of ridiculous. I pulled my brother to the side, and was like, WTF. He said she was going to do this early, meaning she was still going to, and he would talk to her. The next morning when I woke up and she had texted me once and the message said that she thought I was a better friend, I instantly felt bad. So I called her and we talked for an hour. Everything was well. Then we went wedding dress shopping and she was perfectly fine throughout the day, not sad or like she wanted to cry. Then when I started getting compliments from my mother-in-law, she stood up and announced that she had miscarried. My heart sank because I genuinely felt bad for her. The rest of the day was all about her and her miscarried baby. I had even said yes to my dress that day, and no one cared.
Yeah.
I felt sad about it, but I will live. The next day, I had mentioned it to my brother, and he said that not everything is about you, and that I should start feeling more.
Well, I think she feels a lot, because I would have handled that very differently.
I think there's something going on about her getting the attention.
It's her wedding.
Yeah. I think best friend has always had the attention on her. So when the OP is finally getting attention on her, she doesn't like it. Okay. I felt bad, but I couldn't relate, and I wasn't going to pretend I did. I hung up feeling defeated after he berated and belittled me about how selfish it was being, and he even said he hopes when I get pregnant someday, I lose the baby so I know how it feels. Oh, that's wrong.
I'd cut him.
Oh my goodness. You should never wish that on anybody. No one deserves that. No one deserves that. I cried the rest of the day and didn't talk to any of my family for a week. Yeah, there's something wrong with this family. Something about her. They just, I don't know. That's a brother that's gone away with way too many things. It's not taking accountability.
That's a brother that just doesn't have any idea of what mentally is going on.
No, he's never had a care of what his sisters ever had to go through.
Yeah.
So, tells you how much of that. When I finally brought it up to my other family members, they understood where I was coming from, but they had all agreed I could have let her grieve without the call to my brother. When I told my parents, they said that they would talk to him because what he said to me was disrespectful. I already knew they wouldn't talk to him, but I had a sliver of hope that they would. Anyway, so come to my wedding week, and this whole thing has blown up. When they first asked if we could announce their pregnancy at my wedding, I thought they were joking or still on a high about finally being pregnant. They were, in fact, being very serious. My parents knew about the pregnancy, as well as Maddie's parents, who will not be attending my wedding. That's pretty much it. She's also told some of her closer friends, but she wanted to announce it to my side of the family as well as my husband's side, who will most likely not give a flying crap. That's funny that she wants to, she wants to announce it to half a family that's not even a part of her.
It'd be one thing if the bride was marrying her brother.
Right.
It's half the family she don't even know, and maybe his half is bigger than the bride's half.
It's just weird that she wants to announce it when half the people don't even know her.
Yeah.
Like, they're all going to be like,
nor care.
Nor care, exactly. Like she said, she's going to tell half of her fiance's family, and they won't give a flying crap, she said. Not that they don't think pregnancy is a blessing, but they don't know anything about her. In total, about 10, including me and my fiance, people know about her being pregnant. A lot of people recommend that I post it on Facebook or make a group chat, and while I love those ideas, I am not brave enough to do it. I did, however, ask if I could talk to her, and this is pretty much how our conversation went. I brought up the situation, and she was trying to gaslight me into thinking that most of the day will be about me, and then people will leave knowing that she is pregnant. How I needed to stop being jealous about her pregnancy, and so on and so forth. It didn't go on as planned, so I just said, you can come and keep your mouth shut. or you'll both be disinvited. Those were the only two options I gave her, and then I stood up and left. My brother and mom called me later that day, and my brother said that they will be coming and they will be announcing whatever they want.
I would make sure no one let them through.
When my mom called, I was scared she'd be on my brother's side, but she finally saw my side of things, and she said she didn't realize how bad things had gotten. My mom talked to them the next day on the phone and was trying to convince them to do it a different day or the day after my wedding, which is fine because by then it'll be our honeymoon and not a day we share with everyone.
Exactly.
Seriously, come on, do it the day after. They said they'd sit on it, but barely an hour later, they said no. I chose to disinvite them from my wedding, and I talked to one of my dad's brothers, who I am very close with, and told him about the pregnancy. He's petty as heck, so I was nervous he would do something over the top and embarrass them, but instead he simply put together a group chat and said, "We thank everyone for participating and attending me and my fiance's wedding, and that we unfortunately won't be seeing Adam and Maddie at my wedding due to pregnancy-related things." That was his message, and he was the only one who got calls. They didn't know I told him. I got away from that issue. I will update you all when my wedding has passed. Wedding date is June 28th of 2025, and I'll let you know how things went. As of right now, they won't be attending, but they may show up. Thank you to everyone who gave me advice in the comments and made me feel better about being a little bit selfish for me and my fiance. Like, that is crazy. Okay, we're going to go straight to the last update. Here we go. Update was a month later. So it starts off as, "I'm a wifey. Sorry if the update took longer. I wanted to enjoy my honeymoon." You go, girl. The wedding surprisingly went well. So update time. Also, since I wasn't clear enough in my first post, this isn't my account. Everyone is like dead set that this is this is like the other stuff that she sees about
This is her friend's account.
This is her friend's account, so don't look at the other post. It's a friend's account. I didn't want to delete her story because it felt disrespectful. So the posts from months ago aren't mine. While getting my hair and makeup done, Maddie called repeatedly to supposedly let us know she was coming, whether I wanted to or not. So I was very nervous. I did reply to a few comments about how my uncle works at a bar and some of his friends are bouncers, so we hired them as our security. Oh, good. So we did have security for the wedding. I showed my uncle some of your comments, and he has claimed all the petty energy. Maddie did not show up. However, she quite literally exposed herself after my wedding. So let's get into this. 1, she never had the second miscarriage. She just didn't like the fact that we were going wedding dress shopping for me. 2, she got drunk off her butt and told me she was not pregnant? So literally today, the day after my honeymoon ended, I got a call from Maddie asking if we could chat. Naturally, I was going to say no. However, after talking to my husband about it, he said I need to set my boundaries as to where I stand in this friendship. So I did. We met up at a beach bar near us to chat. I feel like choosing a bar while pregnant should have been a red flag. Oh, so Maddie chose the bar. She told me that she was disappointed that she wasn't at my wedding and that she knew we would not be close after this, so she wanted to come clean. So for starters, she didn't have the second miscarriage. She just didn't like the fact that I was getting all the attention. She did have the first one, and she has had fertility issues in the past, so I wasn't going to second guess it. Now, as for her being pregnant now, she's not. To those who said her pregnancy seemed too planned, that would be why.
It seemed too close.
It did, because you have to wait
You have to wait several weeks before you can even try.
You have to wait actually 3 months. They recommend, because there's a higher chance of having another miscarriage if you have, if you try before 3 months of having the miscarriage. That's what I was always told, because there's higher risk of getting another miscarriage if you try again too soon in between. Yeah. So yeah, that seemed like, wow, she got pregnant quick again. So yeah, she lied about that too. Even worse, my brother didn't even know she was lying. She said she faked the ultrasound pictures and had those faked pregnancy bellies you can buy. You went that far into going that far with the lie? So
You don't come back from that. It's one thing to be a couple weeks and be like, I'm pregnant, and then, I mean, if you really want to, just say you lost it to keep your marriage intact.
yeah,
But to get a belly and him see that,
you can't go back from that.
Not
That is
to
like,
mention, but the thing is he sees her every day. You would assume. So
Yeah.
how did he not notice? You have a flat belly right now.
yeah, how do you go to bed and how
Yeah.
do you like cuddle and
I mean,
everything without realizing this
right?
isn't your skin? This is
Whether you sleep in your undergarments or you're naked. I mean, you would
you're
notice.
exposed.
Yeah.
You're married, so you're married, so you're exposed to each other at least one part of the day to notice that is not your body. So there's husband's either really dumb or she
Yeah.
found a really really good way to hide it.
Whether they don't touch each other at night or whatnot. I don't know.
No, that just
You'd
seems.
think if she had a belly, husbands would, be touching it or holding it at night when they're sleeping. Or,
I could see
something.
her faking ultrasound pictures, even though that seems weird that the husband didn't catch that. But to go as far as buying a pregnancy belly,
Unless she hasn't used it yet, and that's what she's
yeah,
waiting for.
they said that. Yeah, she did say that, and had those fake pregnancy bellies that you can buy. But that's just weird. So it goes on to say, I was dumbfounded. I stayed silent the whole time so she would talk. She was a middle school and high school bully who got jealous whenever she wasn't the center of attention or drama. She didn't like that me and my husband were getting all the attention leading up to our wedding, so she bought fake positive pregnancy tests and printed ultrasound pictures. At this point, she's probably 3 drinks in. Meanwhile, I'm drinking water because I thought she was pregnant. She told me a few other things about her and my brother's marriage that I won't mention out of respect. Ugh. When I got home, I immediately told Christian what happened, and he told my brother. I wanted Maddie. Oh, so she hadn't told her husband yet.
No, yeah, she said she didn't.
I thought she had at least told her this point, but...
No, that's why she has the fake bellies, is because the husband doesn't know.
And so she thought this whole time she was pregnant, and then she just comes in saying, I'm not pregnant.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Well, he's going to find out when you got home and you're, drunk.
Well, and also you just spilled it to his sister. So who is she not? How is she not going to tell?
They don't have the best relationship, so maybe she doesn't expect her to tell.
Yeah,
or the brother or the brother.
I still wouldn't risk if I was really trying. I don't know. That's just
I wouldn't be dumb to fake a pregnancy in the first place.
Maybe she's like, this marriage is over anyway. So I'm
depending on what those other things are. Maybe they're not really even.
I was just say if there's other. I was just say she's like a few other things about my brother's marriage that I won't mention out of respect. So yeah, maybe they don't.
Maybe they're
not intimate.
They're
at
just
all.
Married on paper, but not really.
Maybe,
emotionally.
Maybe he's going off and I don't know. There must be problems where she's really not getting the attention at home from her husband, so she's really seeking the attention from everyone else, and that's what I'm thinking. So that's got to be what it is. So I wanted Maddie to come clean, but deep down, I knew she wouldn't. As you can imagine, that didn't go over well with him. That night, Adam came to crash out at our house, and he's been super closed off since. When me and my brother talked, he told me that losing the baby was messing with their marriage, and he came out of his depressive state when he found out he would get to be a father. So he had no clue that she faked her second miscarriage and her pregnancy. I did feel bad for him, and he's currently staying with our parents. I'm not going to share where their marriage is at because I don't know all the details, and they haven't talked to each other in a hot second. My wedding was amazing, and besides getting threats from Maddie that she was going to show up and some of my other family members thinking they should be here, it was really good. I did invite my brother to the wedding, but he chose not to go because he was pissed at her uncle for sharing their pregnancy news. Only my parents and uncle know that she isn't actually pregnant, and Reddit, laugh out loud, and they want him to get a divorce. My uncle is a real one and a petty baddie, but Maddie sent him death threats after he announced the pregnancy for them, and they were going to sue him for sharing their important news. Their important news that wasn't real.
That's not real.
I don't think that would go far in courts. Yeah. I can't believe you said that.
There's no emotional distress on you because it's fake.
Other than the brother who thought
The brother
that,
can maybe get something from
he could
the
get
wife.
some therapy. Goodness, right.
Sue her.
You sue your wife. That would go well. Thank you to everyone who has given advice and support. I told Maddie that while I appreciated her coming clean, it was too late. Our friendship has been through too much, and I'm not going to waste my time on someone who will just constantly lie to me and tear me down. I am sad that I thought she was my friend, but I'll make better ones, so that's the final update. Whoa.
Nice.
That was crazy. What is with these people wanting attention? That's just so crazy. Oh. Well, that's the wedding drama. And I got a lot more stories because wedding drama is very, very easy to come across on Reddit. So I'll get more stories in the future because we can't just not go at and have a nice petty wedding story every once in a while. But I don't know what you think.
It was something.
And just adding more things to your list to have done at your wedding.
The thing is I can be petty, not a problem. I can be confrontational too, so
Right?
those issues would not be an issue for me.
Don't worry, I'll back you up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we
tell
go.
me who I need to deal with.
We'll make you the bouncer.
Who do I need to take out? I'll be there. So, okay. Well, that is all the stories I have for tonight. We'll have definitely a lot more in the future for those who are first time listening. I come every week with random stories, some themed, some just literally random because we are the Random Reddits. And that is what we do. So, if you guys have any of your own stories, like I had mentioned, you can send them to us at the Reddit Randos at gmail.com. Sorry. Almost, I can't talk right now. But if you guys want to listen, there are other platforms. Most of the podcast platforms out there, Apple Podcast, Spotify. We are also on YouTube, so go ahead and give us a like, subscribe, or rate us so we can always be there as a notification for more episodes in the future for you guys to listen to. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stories, and do you have anything else you want to add, Brandy?
Bye.
And again, we're going to say bye.